So the big question is, what is this? What does it do? Why would I want one? It's a good question. This week's how-to, we're going to learn more about our favorite little microcontroller, the Arduino. It comes in a variety of flavors. You have, nanos, and you have Boarduinos, and you have, oh, I know I have more. There we go. We have a ZB1 with built-in XB support, and then, don't forget, another Dewey Millanova. You have these awesome shields, like a wave shield, and an export shield, and proto shields, and lots of other cool stuff. And don't forget, if you want to learn more about this, you have things like Getting Started with Arduino. That's a really cool book. You can get everything you need in the Arduino starter kits. That's another cool kit. But basically what it boils down to is it's an open source microcontroller. You can make your own. You can get the schematics online, or you can buy all different varieties of Arduinos. They're really cool, and they're really popular. So hopefully this will teach you a little more about it and get you to start prototyping and making really cool stuff. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is download the USB drivers and the Arduino IDE, which is the Integrated Development Environment, to your computer. They're really easy to install. I'll add a link in the post. You can get everything from arduino.cc, and it's a really simple procedure, and it's all free. The next thing we're going to do, once you get that software installed and downloaded and everything's working good, is we're going to take our Arduino, and the Arduino has digital pins right here, and analog pins here, power source here, and we're going to plug in an LED into pin 13. Why do we use pin 13? Because pin 13 has a built-in resistor. And to power an LED, you need a resistor, or you're going to blow it out, or you could even damage the Arduino. And pin 13 has a built-in resistor. The LED has a long leg and a short leg. The long leg is the positive, short is the negative. So you want the long leg, or lead, to go into the hole here marked at pin 13. Right next to it is the ground pin, so the short leg goes into the ground. Plug that in like that, and you're done. That was easy, right? Next thing we're going to do is plug it in via USB. The USB wire will give us all the power we need and enable us to talk with the Arduino IDE on the computer to program it. So it's plugged in. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is download and install the USB drivers, and then download the Arduino IDE. You can get both of them from the Arduino website. It's arduino.cc. They come in Mac, Windows, and Linux, and it's a really easy install. Just download them, install them. It pretty much takes care of everything for itself. We have the board plugged in. We have the LED plugged in. We're all good to go. So let's go ahead and start with our first sketch. And we're going to cheat a little bit for this one. We're going to go into the File menu, Sketchbook, and Examples, Digital, and Blink. And what that does is it loads up one of the pre-installed or ready-made applications that blinks an LED. How convenient is that? Alright, so let's quickly go over what's going on here. The first line of code that we need to be concerned about is right here, and it says INT, which stands for integer, LED PIN, LED pin, equal 13. So anytime we see the term LED PIN in the application or in the program, we're going to substitute it with 13. Why 13? Because 13 is the number pin that we plug the LED into. Okay, the next part of the application is right here. It's the void setup. Again, to learn more about this, go to the Arduino. I'm just showing you a basic run-through on how easy it is to program this. The void setup is the little part of the program that does what it says. It sets up things. In this application, we're going to use the term pin mode, which is, again, what it sounds like. It's going to set the mode of the pin, whether it's going to be input or output. So if we look at it, it says LED pin, which we defined as an integer as 13. So basically it's pin mode 13, comma, output, which means we want that pin to be an output. We're going to output something. We're not going to input something into pin 13. Next part of the program, the void loop. The void loop in the Arduino IDE is the part of the program that just runs over and over and over. It never stops unless you put in a stop. So basically, it's going to look at the first section or the first line of code in the void loop and go, sequentially all the way through till it gets to the last line, and then it goes back to the beginning again. So you have to keep that in mind. This is not going to run through one time. It's just going to go over and over and over. So the first line of the void loop in this sketch is digital write, because we're using a digital pin, and we just want to tell the pin to turn on. In the Arduino IDE, you can think of the term high as on. So it says digital write LED pin, which we know is 13, high or on. Next line of code, really self-explanatory, delay 1000. The timing for the Arduino is in milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is a second. I hope I got that right. I think it's milliseconds. So that delays the program for 1 second. Next line of code, digital write LED pin 13, low. Think of the low as off. So it's going to tell pin 13 to turn off. Next line of code, delay 1000. Again, it's going to delay for 1 second. Then it reaches the closing curly bracket or curly brace, which means it's going to go back to line 1. So basically, it's going to turn pin 13 on for 1 second, turn it off for 1 second. And it's going to continue to do that forever. So let's upload this to the board and see what happens. Okay, before we upload to the board, you want to go into the Tools, and you want to go to Board, and you want to make sure the right type of board is selected. We're going to be using the Decimilia. I hope I pronounced that right. So we're going to select that. The next thing you want to do is go into Tools, Serial Port, and make sure the right serial port is selected. I'm on an Intel Mac, and the right port for me is the DEV/TTY USB serial. It could be different on yours, but generally this is the way to go. Then all you have to do is click on this button right here. It says Upload to I/O board. Okay, so we uploaded to the board, and you can see the LED is now blinking on for a second, off for a second. Just want to show you, I'm going to upload that one more time. I want to show you the little LEDs start blinking. Hopefully you can see this. Transmit and receive are blinking like crazy. That just means that there's something going on. The board's talking to the computer. Once they stop blinking, the board instantly goes into running the void loop, which is the blink on for 1 second, blink off for a second. Okay, so in later how-tos, I'm going to show you how to use an Ethernet shield so you can talk to the internet. I'll show you how to use wave shields so you can play music, and I'll get you connected to the internet, and we'll just go through a whole bunch of really cool stuff with the Arduino. It's a lot of fun. Possibilities are endless, and the community out there is just amazing. Go ahead and check out blog.makezine.com and do a search for Arduino. Click on the category for Arduino. You'll be amazed at what people are doing with these. And I'll see you next week.